Hi folks, I'm Hunter. You might know me from some other sample library work I've done. Hearth and Hollow is my baby. But I've been working with John quite a bit on a number of libraries, and the prototypes are a pretty exciting part of that collection. A little while ago, I was testing out the rubber bridge while we were developing it, um, and I wrote a quick little silly thing, sort of like a TV show tension cue using it, of all things. I thought so little of it that I deleted the original session, but I do have the WAV file. I thought it might be cool for us to sort of try to rebuild that, and I could show you what I did to stretch out the mileage of the rubber bridge. It's fun to put a square peg in a round hole sometimes. Here's how it starts. Hopefully you're not listening to this through laptop speakers or anything. But there's a low arpeggio thing going on. That's the rubber bridge. Weirdly, it just works so well. Let me pull up an instance of this guy. Yeah, the low register is really something else. Ooh. The first thing I did with it, I rolled that low pass way, way down. I'm guessing like 80. Yeah. And then drove it pretty hard. I brought the double up, low end. It's supposed to be mono, right? We can indulge a little bit every once in a while. Okay, so this is the main pattern. Let's record that real quick. Poorly, I might add. Okay, let's immediately jump in here and quantizing this because it's a mess. All right, yeah, it's eighth notes, and we're gonna make all of the note starts and ends uniform. We don't want any bleed in this instance, especially not low end stuff, and especially not low end stuff with saturation. You're gonna hear smearing between the notes. I'm a big fan of that, but in this case, not so much. We're gonna want it to be pretty clear. That's part of what gives us that kind of synthesizer feeling. And then another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna homogenize all of the velocity. We don't really need ebbing and flowing of intensity. So I'm bringing it down to basically where it's just going to start growling a little bit at this lowest intensity. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to pop this back open. And all of these controls are automatable. I want to automate the low pass. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. And then basically just kind of, we're going to do a ramp up. And then let's see, we'll just kind of see if I like where it ends up. Yeah, you're starting to get some of the hair on the finger brushing across the string. So we have our nice little motor rhythm established. I want to match that with percussion. In this case, some kind of like industrial, not quite organic thing. So I just dropped an Albion Solstice loop in there, and in kind with the low pass filter automating up, letting more high end in as the piece progresses. Same deal. That's done with the mod wheel in that library. So now you have. And by the latter stages, a lot of the little ticky-tacky ear candy stuff going on. Next step was just fleshing out the tension pads. Great for that. The more like kind of gnarly and unstable, the better, without lingering on these pads too long because they're not that important. Here's the vibe of these two by themselves. Cool. Nice and tense. And then finally, the rubber bridge comes back. So a lot of the harmonic content so far is like pretty cloudy and dense. Now we've got some like kind of points of light, something like really sort of like iridescent to stick out over top of the sort of the sludge that is building and swelling. And by itself sounds like this. As you could hear, there are stars that are going to collapse before the reverb fully decays. So in order to achieve that, let's start at the root. I brought the double all the way down. I did want this to be very singular little pinpricks of light. Filters all the way open. There's a tiny bit of hair, and I kept the reverb on it. We're stacking reverbs on this one. So the next in line is just like our verb. I just kind of wanted some kind of like a hall sound. If you listen to the sound before our verb, yeah, it's really, sorry, I'm gonna wait for that reverb to decay. Okay, so you could hear how it's like, it's really close to you, and then there's like a, all the air gets sucked away, and then all of the reverb comes in. It felt a little jarring to me, so that's where that R verb is coming into play. So now the gap between the original sound and the massive swell, you feel space still. And then I'm slapping the Wolf compressor on it because I just kind of wanted that sort of gnarly overcompressed thing that happens when you drive a lot of reverb into a compressor. The compressor is like trying to figure out what to do, and it creates sort of jagged edges at the edge of what otherwise might be like a really just smooth tail, and just makes for an aggressive attack too. And there you have it. That is me bending the rubber bridge to my will. You certainly don't have to use it that way, but you can. I think that's all the more I've got. I hope you got a kick out of it, and go download Rubber Bridge Plucks. See ya.